Hello everyone, welcome to this live stream of Python from Colors Tech channel. In this live stream you will learn some basics of Python. So on this website here we have provided all the text content, and in this text content you can see first of all what is Python. Python is a very powerful and easy to understand high level programming language. It is a general purpose programming language which requires only interpreters and no compilers. It is an object oriented language, that means everything in Python is in object. Obviously you will understand this when we will start giving some examples. Creator of Python was Guido van Rossum, and it was created during 1985 and 1990. Python is very popular because it supports following programming paradigms. It is object oriented, it is imperative, functional and procedural. So if you are familiar with other programming languages like C, C++, Java, other programming languages, some of them are procedural, object oriented, imperative. Python also supports those type of paradigms. It has a large and comprehensive standard library. Python is both strongly typed and dynamically typed. It focuses on readability and productivity. No matter what operating system you have in your computer, it will run on all type of operating systems, whether it's Windows, Mac or Linux. Python is open source. Python uses white space for indentation. If you are familiar with programming languages such as C or Java, you will find out that some expressions in Python are very similar to them while others are not. So slowly we will try to understand Python with the help of various examples. The first question is how to install Python. So in order to install Python, first you have to open the official website. This is one way of doing it. So first you have to open the official website of Python, that is python.org. On this website you will find a lot of documentation, community support, various things. And on this website you will see that you have an option to download. So from here you can go to Windows and you can download Python. The important thing here is you have to choose the right operating system. So if your operating system is Windows, you can directly choose to download Python from here. If you are on Mac OS, you can select the different releases of Python for Mac OS, and similar thing can be done for other operating systems, like you can see here. Now we have already selected this particular download. So it is a very simple download process, but in the download process, remember when it says add Python to path, when this option is there, so you will see various images of it. So at the time of installation, if it says add Python to path, make sure that this particular option is checked. If this option is checked, then obviously you will add the Python variable to your environmental variables, and this will help you in installing a lot of other modules from your pip library, and this is very important. So make sure that it is there. Now, after installation, this particular IDE, which is called idle, it will be installed in your computer, and this particular IDE will help you in writing the Python code. So let's open this IDE. Now this is called idle shell. This is where we can write our Python code. And here you can see we have these three arrows. So here in shell you will write some code. Let's say we write print hello YouTube. So suppose we write this and print. So this will simply print hello YT. Now suppose you also write something, some integer like print 55. So it will print. So here you can see you are writing where there are these three arrows, there you are writing, and then after pressing enter it is printing that particular piece of code. So this is how you can print something in Python. Here you can see we have tried to print two different type of data types. One is this data type where we have used double quotes, and other data type is a number where we have not used any double quote or single quote. So this is because while printing something in Python, you have to remember the data type of the value that you are trying to print. So data type, as the name suggests, is the type of data. That's why in Python we have string data type. String data type has alphanumeric values. So the values in a string data type are alphanumeric, and these values are written inside quotes. So alphanumeric, it is a collection of alphanumeric characters, you can say. For example, here we have all alphabets, a space, and that's why we have to keep them in quotes. In Python you can use double quote or single quote to print a string. For example, we can also print it like print hello everyone. So you can do this as well. So this will help you in printing something in Python. Here you can see we have used single quote. So either you can use double quote or you can use single quote in order to print a string. Suppose your string is of multiple lines. Okay. So for example, if we have a string which has multiple lines. So for example, hello, how are you? And you have to print some multiple lines are there. So in that case, what you can do, you can use triple quote also. You can, in shell, you can use this directly as well. So this is where you can use these quotes in order to print something in Python. For example, if it is a song lyrics or a paragraph or something that has multiple lines, then we usually use this. This is a multi-line comment also that we try to use in Python. If you have to write comment, as you can see, we have already written some comments. So you can use hashtag. This is a comment. So Python will not execute this line, and you can see nothing happens. This is just a comment. This comment is there in order to understand uh, or in order to explain something to whoever is viewing or reading it. Now after this, we what we can do is we can also define integers. So if it is a string, you can see we have used the print and we have used these double quotes. But if it is an integer, so for example 56 whatever, so if it is an integer, then you don't have to provide any quotes. Integers are whole numbers. They can be negative and positive, but these are whole numbers, and because they are whole numbers, that's why uh, you don't need any type of codes in order to print them or use them. This is the property of these numbers. As you can see, this data type is numeric only, it is not alphanumeric. Similar to so the second data type that we have is integers. These are whole numbers. They don't have any decimal values. But suppose obviously there can be numbers which have decimal values. So if a number has a decimal value, so you can use something like print 55.67. So here you can see the number has a decimal value, and you can print this decimal value. This is how you can print decimal numbers. Again, these decimal numbers are known as floats in Python. So float or floating point numbers. These floating point numbers have an integer part and a decimal also is there. And there can be any numbers after the decimal. So this particular number is used to represent those values which are fractions. And again, just like strings, just like integers, it can be both positive and negative. So this is very important, and this particular data type will be used mostly whenever you receive some data, whenever you are viewing a data set. So there are many properties that have these decimal values. Most of the continuous numbers, most of the data that is continuous has decimals in it. After this, we also have a complex data type. So in a complex, that is also classified under numbers in Python, and that's why you don't have to use any single or double quote, but it is written something like 3 plus 4j. So here you can see complex numbers have a real part and an imaginary part. So the real part is written without j and imaginary part is written with j. And the property is that j square is equal to -1. So this is how you can write complex numbers. Suppose there are two complex numbers, so you can write something like print 3 plus 4j plus 5 plus 6j. So in Python, you can use the principles of BODMAS if you are familiar with it. It is bracket of, divide, multiply, then addition, subtraction. So if you will try to print this, here plus simply means addition. So we will cover other live streams where we will discuss about operators. So it is important that you subscribe to this channel so that you get more live streams like this. And here you can see only real numbers are added. So 5 plus 3 is 8, and then imaginary numbers are added. That's why we have this output. We can do the same in integers also. So for example 56 plus 55.67. So we can add these numbers. We can multiply, divide, or subtract these numbers. Those are the arithmetic operators. So this is our simple explanation of how to print numbers. Then, so these data types are complex numbers. They have real and imaginary part. Imaginary part can be negative also, real part can be negative also, which simply demonstrate in which quadrant they are lying. Now, after this, we also have a Boolean data type. In a Boolean data type, which is commonly referred as bool, in this data type, you will find only two values, two possible values, that is true and false. So you can write print true and print false. So this is a Boolean data type. Print true simply, suppose we are collecting data. While collecting data, we are filling an Excel file. So let me give you an example why these different data types are there. So let's say we have this, okay. Let's say we are collecting data of some students. So suppose their name is there, age is there, and we have their job status, let's say employed. And so here we'll see some examples, and let's say their height. So when we will ask their name, let's say the name is Mohan. Mohan's age is 21. Employed, true. Height 183.2. Similarly, Sohan. Age is 22. Employed is false. You can see I am writing it in small letters, but Excel is automatically converting it into capital letters. Let's say Sohan's height is 156 only. Then we have Geeta, and Geeta's age is 23. She is also employed, and Geeta's height is 163.55. So here you can see, while collecting this data, we have one column which has all string values. We have another column which has all integer values. This column has all Boolean values, and height column has all float values. So that's why these different data types are there, and this is why Python is very commonly used programming language for data analysis, because it has all those data types which it can deal with all type of data, and that is Python. And obviously there are many other libraries that can used in Python to improve its data type handling capacity. As we said, everything in Python is an object. So here true is an object, false is an object, and all of these values are objects of some data type. Okay, so for example, hello YT, this is an object of string data type. 3 plus 4j, this is an object of complex data types. We can also say these data types are also class. A class is something that is used to describe what type of values will be there. A class has different properties and different methods associated with them. So obviously there will be other live streams focused to different classes that we are reading here. So for example, there will be a particular live stream focused on strings only. How strings can be handled in Python. What are the different methods that a string class has? What type of slice, how can we slice a string? How can we trim a string? How can we replace words in a string with another word? How can we do a lot of stuff with strings? and similar to other data types also. So these are all data types, that these are basic data types that we have in Python. As we said, in Python everything is in object. So we can also use variables to store values of these objects. For example, let's say x is equal to 5, y is equal to 6. So here is equal to a 1 is equal to sign. Remember, in Python 1 is equal to sign is assignment operator. It is used to assign a value of 5 integers to this variable x. 6 is integer which is assigned to a variable y. Here y is a variable name. So now in place of that value, as we were doing, earlier we were simply printing the values directly. This time what we will do, we will only print the variable directly. Even we can do some kind of operation like x multiplied by y, print x minus y, print x divided by y. So these are all arithmetic operators. Okay, print. So for divide or for division we use forward slash. For multiplication we use asterisk sign. If you have a regular keyboard, so this sign is above the number 8 in your keyboard. Okay, asterisk sign, or sometimes it is also called a star sign. Then we also have print x percent y. So, or we can write print y percent x. This particular sign is known as modulus, and it is used to tell remainder of the division. For example, we can write print 22 by 7. So this will simply give you remainder 3.1. This is division and this is remainder. So when you divide 22 by 7, remainder is 1. So this is all. This is how we can use these different operators in Python. Suppose we do something like, suppose x is a is equal to 2 and we print a star star 5. So this is another operator that is called exponentiation, and this particular operator is used for power, like a raised to the power of 5, which is 32. Suppose you have to print a square, so you can write a star star 2. So this is how you can use variables to store these values. For example, name is equal to Mohan. Print your name is, and we can use the plus operator to join two strings also. Your name is name. So your name is Mohan. This plus operator can be used to add two strings as well, and this particular thing is known as concatenation. So you can concatenate two or multiple strings like this. Obviously there will be many such examples. This is just an introductory video where we are just discussing basic things about Python, how to install Python and how to get ready with it. So we will do a lot more. Videos, streams where you will learn all of this. So please subscribe to our channel so that you can receive notifications about these